Alright guys, so we're making arrows. Now all the techniques that I'm using, I've tried to make them as simple as possible to make it as easy as possible for somebody who's visually impaired to have a go at making arrows. It's not difficult, but I'll try to simplify the whole process. Now there's no reason why sighted archers shouldn't be able to use these techniques as well. But anyway, so we'll go through it step by step. I'm going to do a few videos about it. First thing to do is you're going to cut your arrows to length, because when you buy shafts, doesn't matter whether they're aluminium, fiberglass, carbon fiber, wood, they're always going to be too long unless you specifically buy them cut to a certain length. But if you just buy stock shafts from a retailer, they're going to be too long. So what you do, we've already worked out your draw length, which is the hands in front thing. You add an inch to get your arrow length. That's for standard target work, bog standard, Olympic style, leisure style target shooting. We're not talking about shooting longbows or horse bows or anything like that. We're just talking bog standard target bows. So first things first, get your shafts. Now we'll start off with some fiberglass shafts. Now these came and they were 32 inches long, I think it was. We need to cut them down to 29. Now it might vary slightly as to how long you cut them, as to what style of nock and points they've got on them. Generally speaking, your draw length plus an inch. Now if you're cutting modern materials, carbon fibre, fiberglass, aluminium hybrids, you need to use something really sharp, such as a razor saw. A hacksaw will do it, well, it'll cut fiberglass, it'll cut aluminium. It's not so good for carbon fibre. Anyway, first things you do is you get one of your shafts, and you measure it really carefully from the bottom. Well, basically you cut it to your draw length plus an inch. And then you use that one arrow to cut all the others. So you would put the ends together, and then you would, where the end is, you would use that as your template. So make sure that both the other end is together quite neatly, tidily, lock them in place, and then just simply cut. Now if you're cutting modern materials, they can be quite hard to cut. These are fiberglass, these ones, and so once you get it going, try and turn the arrow slightly as you cut, because you don't want to get any straggly bits hanging off the side. So you just keep it nice and easy. This goes for wood as well. Take your time. As you get through, start to slow down, and once you get to a certain point, you can put your guide arrow to one side. As you get through, you'll hear it start to change in note. It'll also get harder to cut as the tension nips up the cut on the blade, which is one of the reasons why you're turning it slightly. Try and use the full length of the blade. Just take your time. There. Now once you're through, especially with fiberglass and carbon fibre, get a lighter, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to heat the end gently, the cut end, which is going to remove any slight burrs that may be left from the cutting. Doesn't take much. There we go. Job done. So you continue doing that until you've got all through all your shafts. The next thing you're going to do at this stage in the game is to weigh them. You're going to batch weigh them. Now this doesn't apply so much with man-made materials, but it's very important with natural materials like woods. And it doesn't matter which wood you use, whether it's Sitka spruce, whether it's Port Orford cedar, whether it's Port Rose cedar, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You will need to weigh them quite carefully. These ones are made out, well, these shafts are hemlock fir. Each wooden shaft has different characteristics. About the best shaft in terms of durability, flexibility, and straight strength is Port Orford cedar. But if you want something that's really good like gives you a really nice spine range and quite a consistent spine, the hemlock is quite nice as well. Well, basically, out of the 12 shafts I bought, I've got 7 which are very close in range in terms of weight. So anyway, so what you do, get your grain scales out and just weigh them. Now you're looking for consistency, so we have 263. Now 259. 262. That's 327. I don't know how that one got in there. That's way too heavy for this batch. $265. 259. And 270. Right, so basically what we've got there is 6 shafts that are all within about 10 grains of each other. To give you an idea of what grains are, it's a measurement of weight, obviously. But for instance, there's 435, I think it is, grains to an ounce. There's 15 grains to a gram. So basically, 15 grains to a gram. So these shafts are about half an ounce, but they're all within less than 2/3 of a gram weight of each other. So that gives you quite a nice weight balance. Now we've got others one side, but we'll just stick with these for now. The next stage after that is, so basically you weigh them all and mark them so you know which is which. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to find out where the grain is. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this. If you're lazy, get somebody to look for you. Yeah, just have a look down the end of the grain and then get them to mark it. Now as you can see, I don't think you can see, these have been marked and then marked along there. But how you can tell where the grain is you get a point of a knife and just draw it across. You can feel which direction the grain goes in. If you can get somebody to look for you, they'll be able to tell you better. But if you go with the grain, it's just nice and smooth and slides. If you go against the grain, you'll feel the serrations that way. And so what you're going to do, you want the grain going in the same direction as your bowstring. The reason for that is because the spine, or the flex, is most consistent if it goes against the grain. So for instance, if the grain is on its side, it's a lot stiffer, but it's also less consistent. If the grain is vertical, upright, and when the shaft moves from side to side, it's a lot more consistent because the grain's running the full length. So you mark which direction the grain is going in relation to where you're going to put your string and your nock. Right, so I think that'll do for this video. We've cut our shafts to length, we've batch weighed them, and we've got them divided into batches. We've checked the spine, well, we've checked the grain of each of the shafts, and we've marked them so that they're all going in the same direction. And next time we will cut the nocks and the point tapers, and we'll glue the nocks on. Right, but that's another video. That's enough of this one. So we'll do that tomorrow. So so that gives you a chance to cut all your shafts to length, get them weighed, get them all worked out and marked up correctly, and we shall see you tomorrow with the next stage. Cheers, guys.